Howdy, Eric here with driverlineup.com, giving you a rest area check-in, which I haven't done for a while because I've been in the shop for a week. Had a pretty cool drive overnight. I really like it when it's uneventful, nice smooth ride, nothing real crazy going on. So it's just an enjoyable drive. Plus I haven't driven for a week since we've been in the shop, but really enjoyable drive. Did a couple 100 miles, and as you guys see in the title, we're headed to California, which is very rare for me, and I'll say it many times on this channel. I do not like California. I avoid California with everything in me and generally say no to loads, but this one really worked out for us for a couple reasons. The first is that we didn't have an empty trailer with us because we were at the Peterbilt shop, and they sent another truck to come get the trailer that we had because they didn't want that equipment just sitting there not being used for the whole week. And we're kind of in the Northeast, or at least we were on the border of PA and New Jersey, so trailers are hard to come by, and a driver needed a trailer, so we were without a trailer. And being Friday afternoon, when we messaged dispatch and said, hey, we're ready to take a look at load choice, but we don't have an empty, I thought that we could be pretty screwed because they're just really hard to find up here. And a couple hours later, he came back and said, well, you know, I've got this load going to California, 2,700 miles, paid about $3,000. So he said they have approved you to go in bobtail. So I took a look at it, and which is very rare. I mean, you hardly ever get to go into a shipper for a drop and hook bobtail. So that's a big win right there, especially when you don't have an empty. Man, that light is bright, especially when you don't have an empty. So that was the first big win. The second win is that the load only weighed 34,000 pounds, which is right where I like to haul at anywhere from 30 to 35,000 pounds, because that's not too heavy to kill me on fuel. I can do climbs pretty well. I can do climbs at 62, 65 at that weight, but it's enough weight to where I'm not worried about wind and, you know, things like that. So that's a good weight. The third plus is that I can go through Springfield. I'm gonna drop down and take 10 across versus the route that I normally go from here, which would be through Iowa, Nebraska, Wyoming, drop down through Utah and go that way. This time I can take 10 because I need to go to Prime for a couple things. One of which is I've got to get a PM done on the truck. I only have like 4,000 miles before I have to have the PM done. And now some of you can say, well, you were just at Peterbilt, why didn't you get it done? Guys, that Peterbilt, if you asked them to pick their nose, they'd find a way to take 24 hours to do it. I didn't, being that I was there for a week, I did not want to add something else to the plate to make us have to pay for a hotel for another night. So plus it's just cheaper to get it done at Prime. It's quick, easy. And I'm gonna go ahead and get the APU oil change as well. It's not quite due on the APU, but I'll just get it all done right then and there. So we're gonna swing through Springfield. We'll be there all day, probably Sunday. Also, our trailer on pre-trip, it had one line item that it failed on. Not something significant. It's maintaining temperature, not carrying any alarms with it. We let Road Assist know, but I do want to get it inspected at Prime. Just because right now everything's good, but you know, I want to make sure that the cargo is protected. We want to always take care of the customers and their freight, and right now there's no reason really for concern, but if I can take it in there and have Prime look at it just to be safe. Plus I don't want to, it's a drop and hook on the other end, so I don't really want to, you know, have a potential future issue that I have to stick another driver with, because there's nothing worse than picking up a trailer. It's got to go to the shop. So because we have a lot of time, which is the last point on why this load was okay, actually there's one more point, but we have plenty of time. You know, we can afford to stop in Springfield for the day, get the truck taken care of, get the trailer looked at, and then head on to California. And then I guess that one extra point would be that this load only goes to Victorville. So it doesn't have to go all the way to into Los Angeles or up on I-5 or somewhere just totally crappy like that, which I just hate California so much. But Victorville is not quite so bad. I'm familiar with the place it's going to. Easy drop and hook. So, you know, that's kind of our situation. Doesn't quite pay super terrible. I mean, it's pretty, sorry about that, guys. It's pretty standard for going to California, 2,700 miles, $3,000. Pretty typical. So hopefully we can, I'm gonna try to time this load to where we're taking it in there late Tuesday night or super early Tuesday morning, so we don't have to deal with traffic, and that way I can hopefully set us up to be able to go into LA, hopefully for a produce, maybe a Walmart load or a FedEx load that we'd be able to pick up and get out of the valley with before rush hour. So that's kind of my plan. That's really it. I mean, it went really smooth to come out of the shop. My headlight is not fixed. So I told you guys they replaced the whole headlight and housing, $1,000 warranty replacement, and they road tested the truck for an hour last week. I drove it for an hour with the lead tech in the truck with me. We couldn't replicate that low beam fault, so Peterbilt authorized them to replace the whole headlight housing unit. And of course, within 5 miles of us leaving Bobtail from Peterbilt, we get the low beam fault twice. So truck is still not fixed, but it didn't do it for the last, I've driven probably 260 miles this morning, and it hasn't done it since I've been attached to a trailer, so it's not as bad as it was. But as far as leaving Peterbilt without an empty trailer, to be able to bobtail over into a shipper, hooked to a loaded trailer, and be out of there within 20 or 30 minutes was amazing. Also, because we bobtailed out of Peterbilt and had plenty of time, I could have taken 3 days if I wanted to go get that load. We had time to run over to Petco to stock up on some food for Remy, our little German Shepherd. She has kind of a special diet. She has some not significant issues, but she can't just eat crap dog food, so we have to get her really good premium stuff, which is not always easy. If you could just feed your dog something that they sell at Walmart, it's easy for you to get dog food. But if they need something a little more special, Petco's and Tractor Supplies are not always easy to get a tractor and trailer to. So when we're bobtail, we try to take advantage of that. So we were able to do that. We went to Walmart, stocked up on some supplies while we were bobtail, and just got ready for another week and a half, 2 weeks out on the road. And then went and got that load. And then Jenna's asleep right now. I drove a couple hundred miles. I'm probably gonna drive a couple hundred more, and then let her drive for the day, and then I'll finish off the drive tonight, which would be Saturday night, to Springfield, so that we can be set up there Sunday morning to get the PM done and the APU service. So if anybody's in Springfield, we'll be there all day Sunday. Would love to connect and say hi to anyone who's there. That's the update. That's the check-in. Nothing really more to add to that. I do want to say thank you guys. We're at almost 200 subscribers, and we've only been on YouTube for like 3 weeks. So that's just incredible. And all of you who are leaving comments and joining driver lineup, downloading the app, and just getting on Discord with us, it's fantastic, guys. I mean, we're really encouraged and humbled by all that support. So thank you guys so much. I do have another video that I want to film later today about how we're getting really good nutrition and really good healthy food, I guess you could say. So I'm going to do that video later today. that I think could be pretty helpful for a lot of you. And those of you who are sending me ideas for videos or have questions for videos, I'm definitely going to work on those over the next week, so keep them coming. Love those suggestions. And outside of that, I'm going to get back in the truck and head on down the road. So be safe, guys. Make good decisions, and as always, drive to thrive. Thanks, guys. Talk to you soon.